3 things every man should know. Okay, so before I start, a couple things. 1, ignore my hair. I ride a motorcycle. I also shower at night, hence the bedhead. What I mean by I ride a motorcycle is helmet hair, and also, look how big that looks. Wow, perspective, guys. Life is all about perspective. And also, what I mean by showering at night is bedhead. I call it Asian flathead because when I wake up, the back of my hair is completely flat, and the rest of it is a crapshoot depending on how I slept that night. And 2, I lied. It's actually not 3. There are many, but in this video, I'm going to give you 3. So I want to start with a quote. Actually, 2 quotes. One is from Martin Luther King Jr., and he says, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." So the point of these videos is to challenge men. It's not to give you my definition of what a man looks like. I'm 45. There's a skateboard behind me, and I have no sleeves. So listen, I'm not telling you to be a certain way. I just want to create a dialogue because I think it's important, and I'm just trying to challenge you. And the other quote is from Robin Williams, and he says, "The problem is God gave man a brain and a penis and only enough blood to run one at a time." Okay, so tip number 1, guys. Don't pee in the shower. And listen, let me explain this. By the way, these tips are from my new book, which is coming out, titled "I Used to Be a Miserable Fuck, A Man's Guide to a Meaningful Life." True story. Real quick. I was a boy for most of my life. I got married relatively young, around 29. And about 5 years later, I got a divorce. And it wasn't until I went through a divorce and my own man journey that I discovered what a boy I was. And so through that, I learned a lot about myself, and I'm also a therapist. And so talking with men and women about relationships and love and life and, you know, what works, what doesn't work, safe spaces, capacity, tools, and all that, I got a lot of data on what is healthy and what is not. So that's where all this stuff comes from. It's not just from my life, but it's from many lives. So the first one, don't pee in the shower. By the way, these are random. They're not in any kind of order. If your partner, your woman, is okay with you peeing in the shower, then you could write your name, do whatever the fuck you want. But if she tells you that she doesn't want you to pee in the shower and you think that she's not going to know because you're going to chase that shit with shampoo or whatever without realizing that women have a heightened sense of smell and she will know, then what happens is it's not about peeing in the shower. It's about hairline cracks of trust, right? So if she tells you, can you not do something, and you do it thinking she's not going to know, then she's going to now wonder, are you feeding the dog under the table? Are you flirting with people? Like it's going to lead to a lot of hairline cracks. So my point in saying don't pee in the shower is to remind you that if there's something that she doesn't want you to do and you agree to that, but you do it anyway because you think she won't know that that is know that that is going to create even if it's, you know, not that big of a deal like peeing in the shower, know that that's going to create little hairline cracks in the container that is you and her, the relationship, and enough of those hairline cracks is going to create drift, and it's going to create a giant crack in the relationship. Okay, so that's number 1. By the way, I've done all these things, and that is how I've learned to not do them anymore. Okay, number 2, do walk with mirrors, and I don't mean literally to check your hair if you're like me and insecure. I'm looking at every reflection that I see to see if my hair is okay. I mean, do walk with mirrors in being aware of yourself. I think everything starts with self, and being aware of self means having the ability to think about how your words, actions, and behavior affect other people, right? Having that speed bump or that pause before you respond, right? most of my life, I was a walking reaction, right? I did not have the ability to step out of myself and my ego and look at what I'm doing and how that is impacting someone, right? And creating that space. So walking with mirrors means to be aware always, because it's not a one-time thing. It's like it's an ongoing thing, to always be kind of aware of how you think, how your behavior, the words that you say, and also your energy. You know, I was always, the reason why my new book coming out is called I Used to Be a Miserable Fuck was because I was miserable, but not only that, but I took hostages. My miserableness sucked and drained the energy and the happy out of other people, especially the women, right? Well, when I was married, my ex-wife, who was in my life, and that's not fair to them because, especially if you're living with someone, and because now you're affecting their space, right? You're basically turning them into a prisoner. So, be aware of how you are. In a nutshell, walking with mirrors is being aware of how you are, and then you have that choice, right? Do you want to allow yourself to think and act a certain way, knowing that that's going to affect someone, or are you going to do something about it, right? And you doing something about it is, according to my definition, what will make you a man. You just allowing yourself to naturally default into what you want to do because of your day or your whatever happened or all that is what I would consider a boy. So walking with mirrors and having awareness about yourself and your energy and your actions, that is my definition of a man. Walking without a mirror and being oblivious to your actions, words, energy is what boys do. My last tip today is do live a through me life instead of a to me life. And man, this is a huge one, guys. This is for people in general, but since I'm talking about men, I used to live a very to me life. So a to me life is when you are in victim mode and you believe that shit has happened to you. And of course, because things happen in life, right? Things happen that we don't have control over. There are accidents, there's war, people get eaten by tigers, like shit happens, right? So I get that we are technically victims, but with that mindset, you end up creating your own prison. You end up taking instead of giving, and you end up powerless. So the state of living a to me life where you believe that, you know, whatever, she dumped me or they fired me or whatever, the universe or someone did something to you, and because of that, you are now a victim. That is the most powerless state, right? And also very unattractive. Now, living a through me life is when you believe that there is something greater than yourself, and it could be God, it could be aliens, it could be trees, it could be the universe, it could be your purpose. Whatever that is greater than you is working through you, right? You are a conduit and working through you to allow yourself to shine. And so the visual that I see and I talk about is being a prism, right? So like light is coming in through you and coming out the other end, and that light is now a rainbow. And so the rainbow, to get the rainbow, you are allowing your gifts to shine. And in order to do that, you have to, and this is a different video, but you have to be authentic. You have to pull from what I call your solid self, and I'll get into some of that stuff in the next video. But that's my tip number 3, is to live more of a through me life. And that is where you are the most fearless and the most power filled, right? And so if you apply this to your relationships, because a lot of times we get stuck and we fall into conflict and that tug of war because we play victim, right? She did something to you. What would it look like for you to apply a through you mindset to your relationship? So if your relationship, so if there's you and then there's her and then there's the relationship which is greater than both of you guys, and you are living a through me life in your relationship, ask yourself what that would look like. In a through me stage, ego is very small. In a to me stage, ego is very big. In a through me stage, you are fearless because you believe in things greater than yourself, right? In a to me stage, you are very fearful because you only believe in you, right? So a lot of times I think that when you don't make it about you, the universe will. Or if you're in a relationship, your partner, other people, friends, other people will make it about you. That's just the way that it works. When you make it about you, you basically flip your magnet, and people won't make it about you. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you are interested in this dialogue, subscribe to this channel because I'm going to create a lot of it. These are just 3 tips out of many that I'm going to share. Some will be funny, some will be light, some will be deeper. But I think it's all important conversations to have, especially today. And I really believe that we live in a fatherless nation, which means that either dad is absent or emotionally or physically. And I know this because for 5 years, I worked in nonprofit treating teenagers with their addictions. And I learned that after treating hundreds of teenagers and meeting their families, the common theme in all of the kids was the absent father. And so that's where I got the fire in my belly, not only as a therapist, but just as a man, to create a dialogue about these important topics. So thank you for watching. I will see you soon. A random thought 2 hours after I made this video, but wouldn't it be amazing if you told someone you got a divorce, instead of them saying that I'm sorry as if like someone died, they say congratulations, you're going to go through a rebirth, and at the end of that, you're going to have unpredictable hair and your own YouTube channel.